What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel, and it's your boy Tajay Brian. Now, this is our post-game reaction between Manchester United and Bayern Munich. Now, at this time, before we proceed, smash the like button, share it with a friend, and let's get straight into it. And subscribe. Okay, ladies and gents, so first of all, as obvious as it is, we are all disappointed with the result of the game. We lost the game 4-3. So as you guys are already aware, we went out with this formation of 4-2-3-1 formation, right? So we had Martinez, Lindelof, of course, in front of Mr. Onana. Left back was Regulon. I think he had a very good game. Right back, Diego Dalot. In the middle, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno in front of them. Right? Rashford on the left, Pelestri on the right, and Rasmus Højlund up top. Now, let's just analyze the game, guys. Now, I think that we didn't play particularly well today. I think we were good for patches in the game where we were good breaking down play and good in possession. But for the majority of the time, we were behind the ball, trying to press, trying to win the ball. Bayern Munich were the aggressors today. They played very well. They broke us down well, right? Now, for me, the first goal where Onana made an error, right? I think that sort of hit the wind out of the team, right? I didn't think that the team had a very positive reaction towards that mistake because it reflected in how we played our game after which, right? And a lot of persons are going in on Onana saying that, he's not better than De Gea and blah, 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 blah. We all know he's not a better shot stopper than De Gea. But guys, remember, the team in front of him is not playing particularly well. So he has a lot to do, right? But other than that, Onana's game throughout the game was not very poor, right? He made a couple saves despite the mistake he made. I'm not going to be too harsh on him, right? All we can say, it happens, you're a goalkeeper. Just don't let this happen too often. Let's look forward to the next game, right? Lindelof and Martinez's performance. Now, Martinez in patches showed the Martinez that he was last season. I would kind of criticize Lindelof for not marking Tell for that fourth goal. But other than that, they played an okay game. It wasn't as atrocious as the Brighton game, right? It was a little bit better, but still not to the standard that I would love it to be. Regulon again. Regulon looks very lively, and I would argue that I think we should sign Regulon, right? Because at this point in time, we don't have good backup centre-backs, ladies and gents. That's the reality. So I think that Regulon should be in the team, him and Malacia as our two left backs. And Luke Shaw can, be there to kind of be like a understudy centre-back if, of course, Mr. Varane is injured because he's very injury-prone, and have Martinez there. So I think that could be the dynamic. Luke Shaw be in and around the left back, centre back sort of section, and you have Regulon there who can be a season regular or coming off the bench, right? Diego Dalot, again, he was under a lot of pressure today by Leroy Sané, right? He had difficulties with Sané, and we know the frailties of Dalot, and he's not pretty good defensively. So we saw that happening today in the game, right? Casemiro again. For me, he didn't have a very atrocious game. He scored 2 goals. That's a positive. However, looking at his complete game, I didn't think he had a very good game, right? He was dribbled the pass. The ball was passed around him quite a lot today, and it's as a result again of the imbalance in the midfield. He is the only aggressor in that midfield trio at this point in time, right? He's the only one that does well with breaking up play and getting back possession. The other midfielders with him are not particularly strong in those areas. So I am not going to go in on Casemiro because, again, he didn't have an outstanding game as he did numerous times last season. But we saw his quality. He can go forward and score and do other things well. But his wholesome performance today was not impressive in my standards, right? Eriksen, all right. For me, Eriksen again. I am always going to say this because I rate Eriksen, right? He's a very good player on the ball. He can pass, he can turn, he can dribble, do all of those things very well. But today, guys, we saw why he cannot play as the next double pivot with Casemiro. He gave away the ball today, which led to the penalty, guys, right? He was at fault, in my opinion, to the third goal and arguably the second goal, right? So for me, ladies and gents, I don't think that he is the player to play beside Casemiro. Play him in that Bruno position, right? Whether he is starting or coming off the bench to give Bruno a rest. Play him there. Bruno, him and Mount should be working out that position. It's good to have depth in numbers, guys. So I don't want to hear Mount should be playing wing, playing here, playing that, because we saw also that Mount doesn't make the midfield balanced, right? With playing beside Casemiro deep. Good? So yes, I think Eriksen's game was not a good one today. 2 mistakes led to 2 goals or 2 errors, right? Bruno again. My only problem with Bruno in this game was that he always rushes the game. It's something that he does constantly, and at this point I just believe that he really just cannot help it, right? Because there were countless times where we're in possession, and yes, we all saw the pass where Rashford was on the left hand side when McTominay came on and won possession, right? And we saw Bruno trying to rush that pass when he could have relaxed and just played the simpler pass until, we were able to spray that defense splitting pass. And that was Bruno's game today. A lot of rushing of the game. He didn't really get agitated as we are accustomed to seeing him. So I am thinking positive about that, or I think that's a positive today in Bruno's performance. He got an assist in the very last set play of the game where Garnacho won a free kick. So I can say Bruno, for me, didn't really have a bad game, but he didn't have an outstanding game either, right? Because nobody, in my opinion, really played well other than Mr. Regulon, all right? Just to touch on him like I just called his name, Regulon is very positive, people. As I said earlier on in the video, I think we should sign him permanently. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but I believe we should. Okay? So, the other winger, Pelestri, alright? So, a lot of fans were criticizing Ten Hag, why didn't Pelestri start? I soon get to the manager, alright? But Pelestri again, he is a natural winger, right? We saw what difference he adds other than when we tried to play McTominay there on the weekend. We saw how good it is or how beneficial it is to have an out-and-out winger playing in that position. Personally, he didn't really have a good game because again he went up against Alphonso Davies, right? A very quick wing back, and he's very difficult to get dribble past or passed around. So I didn't expect Pelestri to have a very outstanding game, but nonetheless he did his job, right? He defended well, he tracked back well, he went forward, he did what he was supposed to do, but not to the extent where I am over the moon about it, right? Rasmus Højlund again. He looked winded, right, prior to when he was being substituted, guys. But I said this in the past. I understand why Ten Hag signed Rasmus Højlund. And you see, he doesn't need much chances to score. We saw it against Brighton. He got one clear opportunity. He scored it, but due to Rashford dribbling off the field, it was disallowed, right? Because the ball went out of bounds. But today, again, he got one dire opportunity and he made the best of it. So it's a positive. And we saw how quick he is in transition. We saw how he darts in the final thirds in order to get in goal scoring situations. So he's a positive. But personally, other than those positives that we saw about Rasmus Højlund, guys, his fitness doesn't look there, which is understandable. He was injured. He wasn't doing intense training for the earlier part of the season, the latter stages of preseason, right, guys? So I could understand why his fitness is not there. But as a striker, we see the difference he brings to the team. Now, let's talk about our substitutes. The first one to come on was, of course, Scott McTominay in for Eriksen. Now, for me, I really don't see why we have Scotty in the team. No disrespect to the player, but there's nothing that he offers to really change the dynamic of the game as a midfielder, guys. He plays well for Scotland, and I don't dispute what he does for Scotland. He's a good player for his country. But for Manchester United, I don't see the value that he brings other than the size, right? There's no progressor in him. He doesn't dribble the ball in and transition the ball well. He doesn't break up the play well. So I really don't understand the value he has and why he's still at Manchester United. Guys, let's hope Sofyan Amrabat is ready for the weekend to play. Alright? Next substitutes were Garnacho on and Anthony Martial on. We made 3 substitutes today. And I can say it is a positive to see Garnacho and Martial, because let me tell you why I'm saying it's a positive. Because Garnacho came on and did what Garnacho does best. Came on, took on the wing backs, was very lively, a different dynamic, right, on the pitch. Now, Martial, a lot of persons may not rate him, but I see qualities of Martial where I think it's very good for the team. He's good at holding up the ball, good at dribbling. He's lively when he's in the mood, and he came on in the mood today, right? And I can say that he was a catalyst to, I believe, one of the goals today. The second goal that was scored, he was a catalyst in that, people. So I can say that it is a positive that Martial and Garnacho came on and did well, because he dribbled, took on players, he used the pockets well today. That is Martial, which led to the second goal. Now, Garnacho, I said already, he took on the players and he did what he did well. He won the free kick, which allowed us to score the third goal. So, I mean, those 2 substitutes came on and did their job well, right? And I believe that is how it should go when Garnacho and Martial comes on. Come on and make an impact on the game, and that's what they did, right? But yes, that's pretty much it. Now, to analyze how Ten Hag managed the game today, I believe it is much better than the weekend. And it is testament to show you that Ten Hag is not stubborn. You know, we don't want to go back to Oli and all the previous managers. But we see that Ten Hag learns from his mistakes. A lot of persons may criticize that he hasn't. But see, he started off with a diamond formation on the weekend. He didn't go with that today. Right? That is why I'm saying he learns from his mistakes. Also, we saw that he started Pelestri, right, in his rightful position, not putting a McTominay in a diamond where he would operate as a makeshift winger, right? So we saw that Ten Hag did his job to the T today, gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he lost, but it's a loss where I can say to myself, I can tolerate the loss because the wholesome performance of the team was not to the point where I was disappointed. Yes, I'm disappointed with the scoreline, but the team played better than the Brighton game. And guys are still kind of in a transition mode because there are still new players trying to gel in the team. Hoyland is still trying to gel in the team, right? And of course, we know Martinez and his favoured partner Varane have not been playing constantly because, right guys? So there's still a level of chemistry that needs to be worked on so far. We hope we figure it out, guys. We need to hit the ground running come weekend. But guys, yeah, leave your comments down below. That's my post-game reaction to this Champions League fixture against, of course, Bayern Munich. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Remember that. Let's see you in the next video.